Episode 13, Sonic Past Cool. Over and not cool, Bunny bursts through the roof of the house, which is joked about, and Sonic somehow runs up the ceiling, which wasn't necessary because she falls through the straw anyways. So here, it's actually shown and explained that it was Rotor who made Bunny's legs extendable. It's implied that they extend by pressing a button. It's good that they explain that. Tails asks Sonic if he wants to play dirt hockey, but Sonic takes off. And Tails lampshades sadly that they're always too busy, and he wants to find his own fun. Yeah, logically Tails' treatment in the show should build up resentment. Tails finds an animal eating a puck, and I wonder why it's not trying to eat Tails immediately. If it's the type of animal to eat something other than a plant, then it shouldn't be friendly enough to play hockey with Tails and act like an adorable tamed puppy. Are these animals the type that are domesticated on Mobius? And this one is an escaped former pet? I know this is a fantasy universe, but there are limits to how far I'm willing to believe stuff. Animals should still behave normally in the wild, no matter how much magic there is. Tails leads the animal to the food supply and scolds him for eating too much, causing it to run away naturally. Meanwhile, Bunny uses her legs to collect some apples, as I wish that she was doing this the whole show, and Sonic runs around at super speed to collect all the apples that are falling. Tails then comes over to Sonic and tells everyone about his new pet, which I thought he'd keep a secret to have his own independent thing. But no, even early Fleetway Tails is more respectable than this guy. At least he has adventures with Sonic being useful, and even has solo adventures later. Then it turns out that the animal can stand up. Sally says that she built a device for communicating with pteropods earlier, but never used it, and she gets suspicious. So she's a genius engineer in this continuity? Okay, so what's the use of Rotor then? Why do we need him around? They avoid a stampeding herd. Tails sheds a tear on the tree, saying that he misses his mom too, because apparently he remembers her in this continuity. And Sonic says he'll head the herd off at the pass. Sonic, why are you standing in front of the walking herd of rhinos? Oh good, you step aside. And they go to a dead end. The heroes catch up with them. Sally puts something around the animal's neck, and Sally says their sounds have a distinct language pattern. Like whales? Then Robotnik says that these same animals are the final species to be roboticized. He's actually intimidating when he says that he'll control every living thing on this planet, even though that isn't literal. It also made me smile when Robotnik yells at Snively for saying that he doesn't control the heroes, saying that, "You don't need to remind me." He tells Snively to prepare his hovercraft, as I again wonder what the point of Rotor is if Sally can do technology stuff like build a language translator with no English translation too. I mean, if she was in the games, like, does that mean that she would usurp Tails because she'd be doing all the technology stuff? This is the kind of problem with making her overpowered in the wrong way. The translator doesn't seem to work, as Sally asks what the stampeding herd knows what they don't, and Snively says that the pteropods disappeared into the great jungle with the heroes. Robotnik likes the idea of getting rid of all of them instead of being scared of the jungle like in the comic, which made sense for his nature-hating character. And Tails finds a sparkling plant. A small rhino brings Tails away from the plant, implying that the plants are evil, and when a rhino brings a rock to the plant, it sparks. Rotor puts a screwdriver on the plant and it melts. That's interesting. Sonic gets grabbed by a moving vine. I briefly think about the vine potentially hanging him, and Bunny asks what they're going to do. You have extendable legs, you ditz! Just extend yourself up to Sonic and save him! How can anyone ever defend Bunny's intelligence after all the times she was a dumb blonde idiot? I hope nobody actually thinks that she's smart. Instead, the heroes have the brilliant idea to push a tree that Sonic's hanging from, with Bunny's super strength not toppling it immediately. Instead, it's a random rhino that saves the day, and not Bunny. At least Sonic thanks him, but it feels unnecessary to make Bunny useless and stupid just to force the animals to be useful again. Them saving the heroes from a hot plant was good enough. I love that plant's idea, by the way. Sally says the senses of the animals are highly evolved. She fiddles with the translator button and asks Nicole to help her translate the animal's language. It immediately says danger. At least it feels realistic and balanced here with the translation, as it's just one word and takes forever to work even the slightest. Beats the shit out of colors, where it's almost perfect right away, aside from the purely comical translation screw-ups, which aren't realistic at all. The heroes ride on the animals away from laser-shooting flying machines, and Rotor says they're probably using heat scanners to track them down. The pteropods run into a force field, and the kid gets separated from its mother by a cage that was sent down from a flying machine, while Sonic is unconscious for some reason the whole time. Sonic, fortunately rather than running up the side of a tree, runs off the slanted broken tree, having the momentum and height to get above the cage. After Tails says Sonic's the hero while looking resentful, Bunny finally gets the idea to extend her legs in a check of stun to help free the cage with Sonic. Also, she's an idiot once again because she just, oh good, it's explained that her leg got stuck. So there's a reason she didn't just get out of the way of the fallen cage. Robotnik says that everyone's trapped in the force field. Why can't Sonic just spin dash to burrow underground to get everyone away from the place? It turns out Robotnik is able to hear the heroes from the camera too. Sonic runs into the force field with a ring and boosts through it, so it's sad that even a fan had a much better idea of how they could escape from their situation in a way that made sense, because burrowing through the ground makes more sense than this. Nicole and Sally get the translator to work as they're told to go across a river or something. The translator still isn't perfect realistically. Sonic taunts Robotnik from his camera, somehow knowing there was a camera there, and he lures the stealth bots away. Robotnik arrogantly insists that the trees can't stop his stealth bots, and they predictably do. Robotnik makes his flying machine fly out, and he complains that he's lost them. Sonic says that if they could get the scorch plants to not hole, they could inconvenience Robotnik's metal, which will take forever to happen. And Sally reveals that she already is up to it. She's going to use the seeds of the plants to— oh, shut up, Sally and Sonic! I hate their filler exchange again.
It's already done? No way. Yes, done. Come on. There's no way. I'm sure there is.
Where they barely exchange words between each other to pad out the runtime. Sonic tells Mama T that Robotnik will never find her here. Why not? Tails wishes he didn't have to say goodbye to the young pteropod, wasting her time. Why does Tails think that the heroes need him? That's totally unself-aware of the writing. So this story was about some rhino-like pteropods being threatened by Robotnik. So the heroes all go with them, with Sally of all people having built a translator for one of them that, in an impressive bit of realism, is barely functional. Tails was useful because he was the one who first discovered one of them and told his friends where to go find them. I like that there was a scorch plant concept where a plant could melt metal just by touching it. And Sally takes the seeds from it that she somehow found, but I'm sure this will all be forgotten about in most of the later episodes. So why care about it?